Hey, and welcome to Star Wars 101. In this video, we're going to be covering a little piece of an interview from the Star Wars Archive's 1999 through 2005 book. In this snippet of the interview, George Lucas starts off by talking about writing the script of The Phantom Menace. Then he goes into talking a little bit about Anakin and Luke, and the mistake that Obi-Wan made with Anakin and righted with Luke. He also gives a brief explanation on why the Jedi take their kids so very young. But as always, before we dive into all this, make sure to force choke that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below telling me what you think of what George Lucas has to say. And with all that said, George Lucas. The story has Obi-Wan as a young Jedi in his mid-20s. He's ambitious and takes on the mentorship of this kid who starts out about 8 or 9 years old. The kid is enthusiastic, good, and compassionate. Even though he wasn't raised a Jedi, he has a lot of Jedi qualities about him. Even though he's too old to start the training of a Jedi, Obi-Wan feels the Force is so strong with him that he has to train him as a Jedi. So, Anakin starts out very idealistic, very naive, very clean of any dark side. Why do the Jedi take the kids when they're little? I have to come up with an answer even though it doesn't show up in the script. There has to be logic behind why that happens. This is Anakin's Achilles heel, that ultimately comes into play when he grows up. He was too old to part from his mother. As a result, later he fell in love and he couldn't bear to part from his wife when he found out she was going to die in childbirth. Therefore, when the devil came to say, "I can bring her back," he fell for it, even though it was a lie.
I lied.
Obi-Wan begins as this strong Jedi character, but when you see all 6 movies, you'll see that what Ben is doing with Luke is very close to the same mistake he made with Anakin. So there's this underlying current that he's going to make the same mistake again. That Luke's going to turn into a Sith instead of having him redeem Darth Vader. That's the big tension in this whole thing. Can Obi-Wan right the wrong that he's done? Ultimately, this trilogy is about the relationship between Anakin and Padme. She's much more than a wife. It's a complex, slightly dysfunctional relationship, and it resolves itself in a similar way to how Ben resolved the issue of Anakin, which is that when one person dies, something new is born. So when Anakin's mother, who is a key player in all this, dies, something is born in Anakin that becomes Darth Vader. When Anakin is in the process of becoming Vader, Padme finally lets go of him. Paul Duncan. And in the way that after Ben dies in Star Wars, it reaffirms Luke's belief and trust in the Force. George Lucas. The core of Anakin's problem is that Jedi are raised from birth so they learn to let go of everything. They're trained more than anything else to understand the transitional nature of life, that things are constantly changing and you can't hold on to anything. You can love things, but you can't be attached to them. You must be willing to let the flow of life and the flow of the Force move through your life, move through you, so that you can be compassionate and loving and caring, but not be possessive and grabbing and holding on to things and trying to keep things the way they are. Letting go is a central theme of this film. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this simple yet deep insight into the stories of both Anakin, Luke, and the Jedi. Also, tell me what you think on Obi-Wan's mistake as stated by George Lucas, and the unique reason of why he sacrificed himself on the Death Star in front of Luke as he did. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And with all that said, I'll see you in the next video, and have a great day.